A lot of times as influencers, we often get into the trap of being more concerned with what strangers think about us than what our own family and those who matter most think about us. So right now I'm giving my son an opportunity to get to know his father on a deeper level so that we can expose it to the social media world. I just want to see where his thoughts are. And we're doing this interview. I don't know what he's going to ask me. I'm a little nervous, I ain't gonna lie. But I'm excited. So I hope you guys enjoy this interview between Jeremy Rodriguez and Jeremy Rodriguez Jr.
Alright.
What's up, man? How you doing, man? We don't gotta act stiff. We got a personality. We got a personality.
The first question, what are people going to learn and get out of this event?
Oh, so he's referring to the Conquering the Fear seminar. Well, the thing that people are gonna get out of it the most is the confidence to actually act on the thought. A lot of times we have these ideas, we have these amazing inventions in our minds, but for whatever reason, fear paralyzes us from taking the action. So what I want people to ultimately get outside of the tools, the techniques, and the strategies is just the confidence to actually act on the thought.
Alright. So,
Come through with the confidence, man.
so for the second question, why should people pay to attend the event?
I find that we often pay for so much that doesn't have a return in that investment, right? We buy shoes, there's no return in that investment besides instant gratification. We get our hair done, our nails done, our eyelashes done, and there's no return in that investment besides looking good for that moment. You're investing a little bit of money, and I say a little bit with all due respect because what I've invested in myself to get this information and to get this confidence is way more than the $100 and $150 that I'm asking for the seminar and the gala. So I can guarantee whoever goes to this event is going to get more than a return in their investment.
What are you going to be able to provide at this event?
I'm going to provide what I think ultimately is my gift, which is a powerful energy and love. You know, I think that there's a lot of speakers out there that speak well, and I think what allows me to separate myself from certain individuals is just my true passion for the human race, my true love for what I'm doing. So people are going to be able to get that. You know, that exchange in energy, I truly believe is priceless. And that's where I'm most certain and most confident because the preparation that we're doing for this event is going to truly be obvious once that moment comes.
Mm-hmm. And then
I know this sounds really official, and I promise this ain't no script. This is 100. And for real, like a lot of times when people do interviews, everybody want to be so sophisticated, so eloquent, although I'm dressed apart. But at the end of the day, I know that my uniqueness stems from my personality, from my energy, and that's why this is not no bluff, man. This is me and my son having a conversation, him getting to know his dad. He's interested about the event, which I'm honored that he's interested about the event, so let's get it.
What does conquering the fear mean?
Conquering the fear means to finally get over that hurdle that feels like the wall of China. How many people wouldn't be in a different position if they didn't allow fear to actually stop them from taking the action that their heart desired? So for me, conquering the fear means you're finally going to be your most natural, purest self. We get the thought, and from that thought, immediately we go into those emotions, and those emotions often stops us or causes the overthinking to the point where we begin to procrastinate in our process. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it's like, when you're conquering the fear, we're talking about you being the person that you're supposed to be in whatever capacity. You know, it could be in your relationship, it could be in your profession, it could be in your business, but I want people to be their purest natural self, and this event is going to really introduce a new idea that can allow them to actually execute that.
All right, so
But these are some good questions.
If you have any fears, what are some fears you would like to conquer?
The fear that I have, the fears that I'm still combating right now is allowing my wall to be down so that I can love my woman and allow my woman to love me. You know, I feel like I've escaped so much because I was so afraid to be in love. I was so afraid to actually accept that love that the whole time I lived a life of suppression. So Allowing myself to be loved and accepting that is one of my greatest fears. Another fear that I have is me losing my family to the world. So a lot of times as influencers, we get received by the world, right? We get glorified by the world, but then we got our family that's broken. We got our children that are lonely. We got our children that don't get that time. And you know how I feel about you, bro. Like, every action that I'm taking is for it to cause a reaction in your life. So if I get to the point where it's like I end up losing track of that, of what's most important, and I end up steering myself in a different direction, now I'm losing sight of what's most valuable. And that is a fear of mine that I'm leveraging so that it can be my motivation and inspiration to continue to stay laser focused on what matters most.
All right, so 2 more questions.
And those two fears are like, that's real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's real life. And I'm not trying to drag on the answer, but we often have this, this machismo answer that we don't fear nothing. At the end of the day, you wouldn't be grinding hard if you didn't fear poverty. You wouldn't be going as hard as you're going in whatever you're doing if you didn't fear struggle. You wouldn't be going as hard as you're going if you didn't fear not being loved. So everybody does leverage fear, but they just don't know how to articulate that. You feel me?
All right, yeah, 2 more questions. What goes on through your mind before you speak?
My obsession for humans and the amount of suffering that's happening in this world in vain. I truly think about how many humans are living a life of suppressing themselves. I truly think about how many family members and friends I've had that have been addicted to escaping their reality. And just that thought is what creates this superpower within me that allows me to translate into my audience all of this passion, all of this love, and all of this care. So in my mind, I'm like, you know what? This is an opportunity for me to end human suffering. This is an opportunity for me to ignite change. This is an opportunity for me to inspire. And then I just allow my preparation and my subconscious to take over at that point.
All right, and last question. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years as in all aspects of your life, like family, home, and like your career, stuff like that, and the brand?
Yeah, so I think I see myself, I know I see myself selling out stadiums because people are going to, at some point, connect with me and feel my passion and my obsession for them. I'm going to be married, happily married with my family, creating memories. My brand will be global at that point because I just feel that unity is something that is needed. It's emphasized in the Bible, right? Unity is something that's needed. So I want to utilize this brand to create different behavior within households that's ultimately going to make this world a better place. So number one, I see myself extremely successful as the number one transformational coach and clarity coach in the world. I see myself as the number one speaker in the world. And what I mean by number one is not the number that people are going to give me the title as, is within myself, right? Within myself, I feel that I'm the number one speaker already. I feel that I'm the number one coach already. And it's just a matter of time before people see that. And then the brand building, my family being happy, and most importantly, me being alive. Me being next to you, me being next to your sister, me being next to my wife, me being completely, genuinely happy, living my life with purpose, living my life with meaning, and most importantly, being genuinely happy inside. You know, a lot of times we appear happy, but it's just a facade. And I want to see you happy. I want to see the family happy. I want to see the family well. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this interview. And what I want to tell all of you that are watching this is, I know when there's something different happening, when we get introduced to something like a seminar, if that's not something that you're used to going to and attending, it's going to feel very awkward. It's going to feel very uncomfortable. And it's going to be very hard for you to overcome the doubt, overcome the fear, especially when we're talking about you having to pay for something, which is investing in yourself. However, I advise anybody that's watching this to just give yourself that opportunity. You know, like, we can always make more money. We can never get more time. And what I dedicate myself in my preparation is to make sure that anybody that is in my presence understands and feels like their time was valued, their presence was valued, and they were in an environment where it was worth their time, their energy, and attention. Man, listen, when I tell you, Jeremy, and to all of you, I'm so excited about this event. This event was supposed to happen 5 years ago. And the same fears that you guys have is the same fears that stop me from actually executing. The fear of failure, the fear of what if, the fear of who's gonna actually attend. So right now I've been able to overcome my fears to be confident enough to put this event out there for you guys. And I can guarantee you with my heart and soul, it's gonna be so worth your investment.